My supreme namaskarams to each one of you. My name is Nerala Malyadre. I have been practicing as an advocate of Honorable Supreme Court and the High Courts of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana after my voluntary retirement as a district judge in Andhra Pradesh while working in the year 2018. Today we will be discussing about the importance of FIR and what is FIR in a criminal justice system. The Code of Criminal Procedure Code is intended in order to give a fair trial in accordance with the principles of natural justice which are accepted by one and all, and also to make every effort to avoid delay in investigation and trial which is harmful not only to the individuals involved but also to society. The procedure should not be complicated and should to the utmost extent possible ensure fair deal to poorer sections of the community. These are the objects of Criminal Procedure Code. So, in criminal justice system, in order to get speedy justice, FIR plays an important role. Chapter 12 deals with FIR and investigation. It reads like this: information to the police and their powers to investigate. This is the chapter. So, section 154 CRPC, it tells about information in cognizable cases. So, we must know what is cognizable case and what is an FIR in order to understand how to give an FIR and how to register, how to get it registered. FIR stands for First Information Report. So the information at first given to a police officer, which is recorded when it is given orally and get the complainant signature in it, or the information given by way of a complaint in writing, we can say is an FIR. It's a written document or prepared by the police when they receive an information about cognizable offence. In a cognizable offence, the police officer has an authority to arrest the accused without warrant. That is the importance of an FIR. In non-cognizable offences, FIR cannot be registered. The complainant will be informed to go to court and submit the complaint either orally or by way of written complaint to a magistrate who has got jurisdiction over the matter in order to get an order from the court to conduct investigation by the police. So we have to consider before giving an FIR or before giving a complaint for registration of FIR about whether it's a the offence occurred is a cognizable offence or not. In a complaint generally filed by the victim or someone else on his behalf, the contents of cognizable offence has to be written by giving all the details. When the FIR is registered by the police, a copy of the FIR shall be given to the complainant free of cost. Complainant can be an informant or victim or anybody. So section 154 class 2 empowers a party or a person who has given information to demand to give the copy of the FIR. In case of anybody, any police officer refuses to register an FIR when a complaint is given regarding a crime occurred or about to be occurred, if it is a cognizable offence which is considered under section 154 class 1 CRPC, an information that is required to be registered, then the informant who or the complainant, whosoever he may be, may send the substance of such information in writing and by post to the superintendent of police concerned, who, if satisfied that such information discloses the commission of offence, which is a cognizable offence, shall either investigate the case himself or direct an investigation to be made by any police officer subordinate to him, but that investigation must be in accordance with the Criminal Procedure Code. Then such officer may be the same officer who refused to register the case, or any other officer who is authorized to conduct investigation, get all powers of an officer in charge of the police station in relation to that offence. This is most important. So once you are aware about any information relating to cognizable offence, you can give a complaint in writing or oral under section 154(1) class 1 CRPC if it relates to cognizable offence. Then the police officer has to register it and give a copy of it to you under section 154 class 2. And if he refuses to register it, then you can send the information by way of complaint in writing by registered post to the Superintendent of Police. Then the Superintendent of Police has got power either to investigate himself or to authorize anybody, including the person who refused to register the FIR, to conduct the investigation. Then section 154 mandates that the officer in charge of police station cannot refuse to register as FIR, and the same is against the law. Then an FIR is very important document because it is the one which helps in criminal justice system to conduct investigation and thereafter trial and punish the accused, and that way it helps the society in large and do justice to the victims. Only after the FIR is registered in a cognizable offence, the police can start the investigation. Once a FIR is registered, the content of the FIR cannot be altered or changed even by the informant who has given the information or the complainant who has given the complaint, except by a ruling of High Court or Supreme Court of India, because the constitutional courts, that is the High Court and Supreme Court, has got power to interfere in any manner if it is found that the same is necessary for doing justice. The information in the FIR register is maintained at every police station. An FIR page contains the following information: FIR number, victim's name or the name of the person who reports the complaint, name and description of the offender if known, like who may be the suspected accused or who may be the accused, and then description of the offence, place and time of the offence, and if you know the witnesses who has witnessed or who may have witnessed, then you can mention the names of the witnesses in the complaint. Likewise, the rules to an FIR to be for filing and registering is anyone can file an FIR if he knows the information about the cognizable offence. He may not know the full information, but still, if that relates to cognizable information offence and the contents goes to show that an offence is occurred which is cognizable, then police must write it down when the information about the commission of the cognizable offence is given orally. The victim has got right to demand to give the pre-copy of the complaint and FIR, and also he has got right to demand the police to record his information. Once the information is recorded, the police can demand him to sign in the recorded statement. If the person cannot or she cannot put the signature, then left thumb impression can be obtained on the document. After filing the FIR, the complainant or the informant shall take a copy. You have a right to ask for the copy free of cost. Then the Honorable Supreme Court, in a recent case decided by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice M.R. Shah, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, on Tuesday, observed that the high courts are interfering or passing orders for stay of the investigation may be by looking into the contents of the FIR and finding that the contents does not disclose the total information regarding cognizable offence. In this regard, the Honorable Supreme Court held that it is the duty of the police officer to conduct investigation, not by the court. So the courts must see whether the contents relate to cognizable offence and the contents does not or may not prove entire information, because the FIR is not an encyclopedia. The Honorable Supreme Court also observed that the passing of orders of not to arrest the accused or not to arrest the accused till filing of charge sheet or staying the investigation is not contemplated under CRPC. And if you do it, it is interfering with the investigation at the threshold, and then it will cause injustice to the party or the victims and society. The Honorable Supreme Court further held that the courts have to look into whether investigation is done speedily or not. So at the initial and preliminary stage, the courts should interfere very slowly if it is necessary, because of not giving total information in the FIR. When contents are read, by looking into them in a prima facie inquiry, you can't stop the investigation. You can't order for not to arrest the accused. The procedure has to be followed in accordance with the CRPC. In this judgment of 64 pages, the Honorable Supreme Court has clearly observed that the high courts have got power to stay the investigation or not, pass orders not to arrest the accused or interfere in the matter, but the court must pass interim orders in the rarest of rare cases. But while giving such orders, the court must give total reasons which have to be mentioned in the order itself, so as to see that principles of natural justice are followed and speedy trial is conducted. We are all aware that speedy trial is a fundamental right as per Article 21, 14 and 19 as per of the Constitution of India. And we in preamble also we have mentioned that we want to do social, political, economical justice to the citizens. So and in case of registering or recording an FIR by the police officer in certain offences relating to where victim is a lady and information is given by the women against whom certain offences relating to rape are committed, then attempted to be committed, such information shall be recorded by a woman police officer or any woman officer. So this is very important, because a victim of a rape or offences related to rape cannot give or disclose such information which relates to her privacy, though it is a cognizable offence, to a gent clearly. This is also mentioned in section 154 CRPC. Likewise, if the victim is temporarily or permanently mentally or physically disabled, then such information shall be recorded by a police officer at the residence of the person seeking to report such offence, or at a convenient place of such person's choice, in the presence of an interpreter or as a special or a special educator as the case may be. So victims' physical mental condition also has to be considered by the police officer or the women police officer at the time of recording information relating to a cognizable offence, and it should be videographed also. Then the police officer will get the statement of the person recorded by a judicial magistrate under class A of subsection 5A of section 164 as soon as possible. This is very important in cases relating to a lady where victim is mentally, physically or otherwise disabled temporarily or permanently. So we know that since FIR is not a substantive piece of evidence, not mentioning of